What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new series on my channel called the Chelsea Chat. Now in the Chelsea Chat we'll be discussing all the big talking points surrounding Chelsea Football Club and their upcoming matches during the week. In this first episode we'll be talking about the mouth-watering clash against Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane tonight and the ins and outs that could possibly happen at Chelsea this transfer window. So we're kicking off this episode by talking about, as I said, the mouth-watering clash at White Hart Lane tonight, Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea. This probably is one of Tottenham's biggest games of the season. They'll want revenge after what happened last season when we killed their title dreams by handing the title over to Leicester in a 2-2 draw. Speaking of that result, the last three results between the sides have been a 2-1 Chelsea, a 2-2 at Stamford Bridge, and a 0-0 at White Hart Lane in November last year. Now, this game is going to be what I call, I don't know what you call it. It's a London derby, obviously, but it's so much more than a London derby, this one anyway, for me, personally, because there's a whole stake of things in the game. Tottenham, are, like I said, want to beat this record, as in, that's all they're caring about. As in, you could hear the Tottenham fans at Watford the other day singing, "Chelsea win points, we're coming for you." As in, I know that shouldn't mean anything, but it means a lot to the fans. And Chelsea fans are the same. As in, I fully believe personally, that we can really go out there and batter Spurs. Because the way we've been playing this season is unbelievable. We battered Man United. I know we got battered by Arsenal ourselves, but we battered Everton as well. And we've also been able to hold on for results like away to Sunderland and away to Crystal Palace. So I think Chelsea are more of a complete team than Spurs. But obviously Spurs have some good players like Harry Kane and Dele Alli. People hype them up too much, but I still think they're pretty good players as well. Now, the last results for both teams scored 4 goals. Spurs beat Watford by 4-1 in one of the most one-sided affairs I've ever seen in my life. And Chelsea beat Stoke 4-2. So both teams are coming back off a real good result. Obviously, Chelsea have won 13 wins in a row now, so that's a big boost to our confidence. For the lineup, I've actually gone for the relatively same lineup as usual. Courtois on net, Alonso and Moses as the wing backs. Same back three as usual: Cahill, David Luiz, and Dave Azpilicueta. Kante and Matic in the CDM roles, and Pedro, Costa and Hazard up top. And I think this team will get this result, so my prediction is 3-1 to Chelsea. Now, speaking of that, we do get a 3-1 victory over Spurs, or any victory whatsoever. We go 8 points clear of second place Liverpool, 10 clear of Manchester City, and 11 clear of Arsenal. I think that could kill Arsenal's chances off if we do manage to get a victory. But even if we don't manage to get a victory, if we draw the game, I still don't think that really, damages us too much, because we still have, such a massive gap over teams like Arsenal and Manchester City. I don't think it's we can afford to draw the game. As in, I wouldn't like to draw the game because our record would be over, because going for the magical 14. I just don't think it matters too much in my personal view. Of course, I'd love to beat Tottenham Hotspur. I always love beating Tottenham Hotspur. But in a game where, people are building out as we have to win it, I don't think it's just that clear cut. I think there's 2 results that can go our way, but losing is not an option. Losing, of course, is not an option, because you don't want them having the bragging rights. You don't want them having the bragging rights of, beating a record. Well, not beating a record, but stopping the record, if you get what I mean. I think overall the game is going to be it's going to be a tight one, even though I predicted 3-1. But I just think we have, as in Chelsea, we have the better players and the stronger kind of mentality. I think Antonio Conte has, put in a much more stronger mentality, as in, no team will be a pushover mentality. You look at the games against Crystal Palace, the way he kind of went over to the fans and was delighted with the result, I just feel that's kind of the mentality Conte has instilled in the players, that no team is to be taken less equally. The example, as in Liverpool, he would take Liverpool as seriously as he would take Crystal Palace. And I think that's the way you have to take all your games. I think you have to take them as one step at a time. And I think you have to see them as equals. And I think that mentality will get us through tonight. And as I said, I do predict a 3-1 victory. Let's dive into the last part of the show with the transfer talk. Now, let's go into the loan merry-go-round that is Chelsea Football Club, with Van Ginkel going out on loan and Musonda and Kennedy coming back from loan. Now, Van Ginkel has gone on loan to PSV Eindhoven, who he went on loan with in last season and won the league. He was meant to go on loan at the start of this season, but he ended up not going. I think he was injured, or something like that. Because I remember him tweeting out to PSV fans saying sorry that he couldn't, come back on loan, but hopefully he'll be back there soon. Now, Masonda and Kennedy have come back from their loans at Real Betis and Watford. Both really didn't get a lot of game time. So I don't know what Conte has a plan for them. I think he was saying something about, just let them come in, see what the options are. So maybe one of the options is, stay and fight for a place in the squad, add a bit more competition, or go out on loan and get some proper game time. So whatever the two decide to do, I hope they when they come back to Chelsea being able to play. I know I said this about a lot of loan players that we've sent out. But, I still hope to this day that maybe, like Victor Moses, look at Victor Moses, he spent 3 years out on loan from Chelsea and now he's in the first team. So, you never know what could happen to one of these guys. But, personally for me, I'd like one of them at least to stay, preferably Kennedy, maybe to add a bit more competition for the wing-back position, because maybe if Alonso or Victor Moses got injured, maybe you wouldn't really have anyone to put in there. Maybe Kennedy is a perfect fit for that left wing-back position. Now we're going to go on to two players who could permanently be moving to Chelsea from the Bundesliga. We talk about Ricardo Rodriguez and Arturo Vidal. Now, with Ricardo Rodriguez, Wolfsburg aren't doing so well in this year's Bundesliga. They're sitting 11th or 12th, and I have also sacked manager Dieter Hecking. So there's been a lot of chaos going around Wolfsburg. And I think the papers have been putting him going to us or Arsenal. Personally, I think he was better than another guy that could play maybe left wing back and can score a belter of a free kick. Now he's in the region of 15 to 20 million, and I think that'll be no problem for us considering we sold Oscar for 60. So that'll be some of the money spent and a great addition to the squad. Now let's talk about the one I'm really excited about. Probably won't happen, but nonetheless I'm quite excited about. Arturo Vidal. From what I've seen, hasn't played a lot for Bayern Munich. From when I watch him, it's usually Alonso or Thiago. That's just like the way Ancelotti likes to play. That's fair enough, and that could benefit us by getting Vidal. Now, people say he probably won't come in January. They're probably right, but there's a key thing that I think that could lure him to Chelsea, and that's Antonio Conte, because I think at least he won 2 Serie A titles under Conte, and that could be a big factor in getting Arturo Vidal to come. I think him and Conte could play well together, him and Matic, him and Fabregas, whatever you prefer. It's just another option to have in there, more competition for the squad. And that's what you need if you're gunning for the league title, if you're gunning for records. And I think Vidal, if we do manage to get him, probably will be about 45 million euros. But if we do get him, as I said, if we do get him, he could be a massive game changer to this squad. That's it for the first episode of the Chelsea Chat, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. The second episode will be out pretty soon with a review of the Tottenham game and a preview of the FA Cup clash coming up against Peterborough. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Share this video around on your social media, give it a thumbs up, and remember, subscribe.